Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Aldi Wijayanto, and I'm from Islamic Psychology of IAIN Surakarta. And for this time, I will present my work about religious anthropocentrism, the discourse of Islamic psychology among Indonesian Muslim intellectuals. First is abstract. Ideas of psychology are often criticized as being dominated by the spirit and the model of secular and liberal Western thinking. They are frequently deemed to bring bias when applied to analyze the psychological problems of human beings in the context of other cultures, especially, especially in the context of Islamic culture. This paper investigates Indonesian Muslim scientists' offer of an alternative of grand theory in psychology formulated from a more balanced paradigm called religious anthropocentric psychology. Indonesian Muslim scientists developed this paradigm as an attempt to construct spiritual religious psychology of Islamic psychology. The paper describes an increasing awareness among those Muslim scientists to develop theories of humanistic psychology with spiritual and religious values. This kind of psychological theory seems to be the basis for so-called Islamic psychology. Furthermore, in addition to its reference toward the anthropocentric paradigm, this kind of psychology also refers to the religious Islamic values, theocentric of God-centric. Second is introduction. The discourse of psychology cannot be separated from the three mainstreams recently recognized as an established theory of psychology. Psychoanalysis by Sigmund Freud, behaviorism by G. B. Watson and B. F. Skinner, and humanism by Abraham Maslow. These three remarkable streams, irrespective of controversies over them, yet still exist and even remain committed to their view. Moreover, in later development, it raises new streams in the field of psychology. Looking at the history of emergence of the theories of psychology, those three streams cannot be detached from the growth and development of Western culture after the rising movement of Renaissance and Aufklärung. The criticism toward the bias of grand theory of thinking in modern Western psychology is also raised by Western scientists themselves, as expressed by Gordon Westland in his book Current Crisis of Psychology. Based on those problems, Muslim scientists are motivated to offer an alternative of grand theory in psychology which is formulated from the paradigm of Islamic psychology. Next is a historical overview of Western psychology. Just to gain a better understanding of how grand theories is in psychology developed, it needs to trace the roots of Western psychology back to Greek philosophy. The word psychology itself is derived from the Greek words psyche, lead soul, and logos, lead study. Psychology thus started as part of philosophy and became an independent discipline in much later development. Mind was a central issue in classical philosophy. Plato and Aristoteles were among the first philosophers who developed theories and ideas about the mind. The relation between body and mind was also of important concern of non-Greek philosophers. For example, René Descartes also subscribed to the content of body-mind duality as developed by Greek philosophers as such. John Locke, a British philosopher and psychologist of 18th century, developed an idea that knowledge has a close relationship with the empirical experience and that thinking is not innate. One, in fact, should note that these two ideas, the body-mind duality and the clean state mind, have been the strong roots of Western psychology for many decades. It was not it was not until the 20th century that several prominent Western psychologists, especially Carl Gustav Jung and Abraham Maslow, attempt to break free from the tenet of this strong-held, long-working concept. A new development of A new development took place to psychology in the 20th century. Several points of evidence can be laid here. E. H. Weber, a German scientist, attempted a scientific approach in the study of the mind by his finding of the quantitative relation between stimulus intensity and the resultant sensory experience. This kind of approach was later popular as Weber's law. Almost in the same period, G. T. Fechner, who is called the father of quantitative psychology, coined psychophysics, which is quantitative study of external structures and sensory experience. Then came Darwin with his revolutionary Origin of Species, which influenced psychology and human thought. It was not until the first decades of 20th century that psychology experienced new development. Ivan P. Pavlov, a Russian psychologist, made a path-breaking finding when he was studying the digestion process in dogs. This was one of the greatest findings that made radical change is the field of psychology. There are several top psychology schools, including structura, structuralism, functionalism, Freud and psychoanalysis, Alfred Adler and personal psychology, Jung and analytical psychology, behaviorism, Gestalt psychology and humanistic psychology. On structuralism, Titchener and his followers say it is Sakin. This can be divided into three categories: sensations, perceptions, and sensations. Titchener and his followers were called structuralists, structuralists, and they were the foremost the way to learn to think introspection and related functionalism. Father of American psychology William James G.R. Engels and Dawn Theory believed that psychologists had to learn the function of thinking, not the structure. Those group those groups psychologists are called functionalists. Freud and psychoanalysis are associated with Sigmund